Ladies and gentlemen, the performance of the Awakening of the Fairies will not commence till 5:30.
Everybody stand the tractor and trailer down to me so I can... Very good.
Welcome, O earthbound ones. I said, welcome. I thank ye from the depths of mine elvish heart, thon heart that pounds with the green blood of mine elven ancestors. I rejoice that so many of ye mortal souls have travelled far to hear my tale, for such a tale as this has ne'er been heard and never will be heard again. But first, before my tale I start, we must give tongue in practice of some mighty cheers that will accompany my narrative. The first in elvish tone is Rida, which in your mortal tongue as much as you would say hooray. So, when I raise my arm aloft as thus, ye shall all give voice in one concerted roar. Rida! Rida! The second is Fuzzo, which in thy tongue is close to what I'm told ye mortals bellow in dislike as boo. So, when I make this sign, ye shall all rent the air with Fuzzo! 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 Mortals, I'll make fairy folk of ye all yet. Now, without much more delay, I'll to my fairy tale make haste, and spin for ye this olden fable, which perchance shall be resolved here this very day. It was upon a day much like the one that pulseth even now, some 2,000 years ago in elvish time. Methinks this is, in mortal terms, about 7 times 100 cycles of the sun, from spring to summer, autumn and winter foals. It was upon such a day that the most valorous, fair and youngest of our elven kings, King Fert was oft his name, did come to this green swathed field to take in marriage the beauteous fairy princess Snowflake, and here to bind together for ere time and make their intertwined souls as one in ancient manner set. Behold, King Fert and all who share in him this wondrous day, the fairy folk and elven kith who do appear in very many forms. He comes! Rida! 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 Behold, the famed elven courtship moves. The moves that every elven king hath made upon his wedding days, since ever leaf was born by springtime tree, and birds did spring upon the dancing breezes of the sky. Behold! mere mortals who stand within our fairy fence, prepare to feast your eyes upon the fairest fairy of them all. For Princess Snowflake captured hearts and souls throughout our elvish world, and 'tis oft time spoke, to hear her sing is to be tranced for life, and ne'er again recall your misspent youth. Behold, the princess and her train! Read! Behold! Behold the melding of the fairy and the elven host, the ritual passing of our ancient bloodlines, whereby the trembling course of blissful lives can touch and share each other's warm embrace. Let forth the passage of our time and meet the essence of your sharing love. Then, in center of the fairy ring, arose a ladder to the sky, like Jacob's in my mortal texts. This ladder came to mean the granting of your dreams. Chant with me! Be one, be free, be born afresh. Let no one be of mortal flesh. Join hearts and minds in joyful glee, just as this binds fair she to he. The ring of dawn
Princess of my soul, wilt thou be mine, to reign upon our twilight world? My heart, my life, my very blood, I'll gladly give for thy sweet grace.
My fairy lord, I'll join with thee to sing a single flowering tree of both our soaring spirits now and ever in eternity.
No! No! Such a joyful tale as this could chance its life without some bitter taste of gall. You did not think that such a joyful tale as this could chance its life without some bitter gall. Is reality not pain and suffering? Where is the worth of life without a test or two? Now, let me tell you this. For seasons countless past, King Fert was not the only one who sought fair Snowflake's hand. Oh, never. And from deep within the mystic mountains came a bogle whose malice turned the silver birch's glistening bark to ash. Astride his roaring dragon came that awful creature from below. 'Tis Mudpile Thunderbottom! No, I say! No! No!
Fert! Thou shalt not take this fairy to thy wife. She belongeth to me. She's mine.
Mudpile, you are too late. The wedding is done. We are one.
Snowflake, say he tells untruth.
We are conjoined as one and ever shall be thus.
And as these words lanced through his imp black heart, he planned to lock away their love and freeze them all as he was frozen from her light. A mighty spell which only goblins from the earth's own core could break. With rhythms wild, he conjured on the frozen horde.
forever thus I curse you, to sleep with belladonna on your lips, whose acid taste will keep your eyelids closed, and tincture of unbounded jade to hold thine eyes, and be cocooned forever, trapped in my thrall.
Puzzle! Puzzle!
Now you are mine!
Puzzle! Puzzle!
I will not ever be thine. Not ever.
Reader! Reader! Thus did Mudpile think he had gained the purest princess in the fairy world. A silence fell upon the twilight world, and many winged birds did cease to sing and fly, as all the elven and the fairy folk lay spellbound in their ghostly trap. Some said the soulful sound of Snowflake's heart-rent spirit could be heard, but many years passed by, and only mortals kissed the sky. Approach the platform now, and hear the sound of Snowflake's weeping soul, and then return when twilight falls, and I will tell you how the story ends, for end it must, but not like this. A fairy tale should end in bliss. see the final chapter of this fairy love. Ye'll mind that when we last did meet, that treacherous bogle, Mudpile Thunderbottom, had kidnapped the beauteous snowflake and cast this dread cocoon upon the fairy folk, that they might be forever frozen in elven space and fairy time. Now, 'tis some 2,000 years gone by, which in your time may be some 700 span, and once again, as he hath done each year upon this very night, the malice-filled bogle and his hateful band will come to celebrate. Hark! I hear them now! Prepare, mortals! Prepare! Fuzzo! Fuzzo!
From the fairy folk, what uninterrupted plague of time we bogles have enjoyed. No more have fairy deeds and goodness sullied mortal trends. Their goodly influence have failed to reach the confines here displayed. 'Tis us, my bogle friends, who have so brooded on the mortal world, that soon our labours will bear fruit, and men will be no more. Once more, I reinforce our woven spell to safely keep the fairy goal in place. By the sunken threads of moonlight dust, and all the ugly deeds of man's behest, let every evil plot and deed conspire to strengthen captive bonds and never be released. Send the Brigalator! Weep on, my flinty-hearted one, weep on! For those you called your own will be in thraldom here. There is nothing you can do. Weep on! Huzzah! Come, bogles all, let us depart and celebrate this monstrous day, and flowing bowls of garnet brew, and toast the near demise of all that other mannish world! Huzzah! Huzzah! Huzzah!
And thus, as she has done these past 2,000 fairy years, Snowflake stretches out her hands to touch the shadowy figure of her entombed groom.
All the lights on the stage, please. I will go see her. That's it.
And as she has each and every year gone by, Snowflake sings her fairy lament for a love that will never die, and a hope that still burns bright. And as she's done 1999 times before, so Snowflake bids adieu to half her fairy soul, and bravely turns to face the awful spectre of return to baneful life of bogle thraldom.
Go drums and go.
'Tis the Gleistig from the Scottish glens, who's heard of snowflakes' plight.
Fear not, O little, pure of heart. This day I'll no blood suck from men, but come to aid your fairy plight, and help to free your chained love.
Frida!
The binding of their prison walls can only fall by goblin might.
Goblins? But Gleistig, dear, I cannot fly to where they lie. My wings are clipped by bogle blades, and leave me helpless here to cry.
I'm not yet dim of eye or brain, and to this end have sent forth thongs of sinewy persuasion, which will cleave down to the goblin realms and seek their throbbing drums of dawn, whose rhythms wild shall break loose bonds that bogle spells have tied.
yet some remnant of the Bogle's spell held all the fairy folk frozen in bondage still. The fairies had not yet awakened. Snowflake's elation turned to fear.
Galactic, help! Their prison walls have gone, and yet their freedom is unclear. How can they be returned to me?
That which mortals fail to do when all else seems so black. A single act of leaping love can change what you perceive.
A single act?
E'en so, sweet child.
So, slowly Snowflake turned to furt, and with the gentlest touch of lips, a brush as butterfly on sweetened flower doth kiss, she breathed life back to his traped soul, and gave him freedom once again. Riga! Riga! Now save your mortal world, and waken all the fairies once again, that they might breathe their good upon your world and say, Riga! 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 And thus, elation spread right through the flighted host, as in their myriad forms they all awoke, and in their joyous mood they straightway fairy rings did form, to start their influence of good. Hold! What menace new threats the fairy host?
So, did you think you thus could break my spell? I'll grind your flesh to earthly graves, and ne'er again shall ye do good. But take your place amongst my slaves. Advance and flatten all you see.
vile Thunderbottom, thee and thy darkened brethren shalt this day forth be banished from the twilight world, nor hence to aid the darker side of mortal doubts, but down beneath the earthen crust, beyond the molten magna fields, to sit encased in Gaia's core. There shalt thou spend eternity. Now, go! And thus my tale of the awakening of the fairies is done. And ye have witnessed all how darkness cruel hath left our midst, and fairy joy will once more delve into the hearts of mortals, and fight to ban the awful doubts so there by mud piles brood. So mortals, commence your celebrations! Now as fairies, elves and goodly sprites do all enjoy the interrupted wedding joys of our new fairy king and queen, ye shall approach now our glistening stage and share with us a newborn age.